It's Carter, man. As you can see, I'm down here in the dungeon, the workout room. Just got done. And the whole time I was working out, I was thinking about something. Let's say that this right here was, bourbon. I don't even know what color bourbon is. I never drank bourbon. Let's say this was bourbon, and I just finished off a whole glass of it. And it was my third or fourth glass of the afternoon, and I'm still chugging it away. It's not, by the way, it's apple juice. But let's say it was. Chances are three things actually. One, I'd be drunk as a skunk, which I'm not. Two, I would have very poor judgment in making a video for you when I am drunk as a skunk. And three, if I were that type of person and that was my customary behavior, I wouldn't just be drunk. I'd very likely be a drunk. And where am I going with this? Kamala Harris. Did you see her video yesterday from the RNC thanking her supporters? Folks, drunk is a skunk. Drunk is a skunk, as one guy said. You know, what you saw there was when it's 6 o'clock in the evening on Thanksgiving Day and your childless aunt has just finished off her second bottle of wine. Okay? That's what it was. That's what it was. She got in front of the camera, drunk as a skunk, in order to thank everybody. Remember, we're still in this fight. We're still in this fight. What? Let me explain the full, at the end I'll talk about ramifications, but the full impact of this, if you will, okay? The full revelation of what this means. And what it means is we had a candidate for president who is a drunk, okay? Not just that she was drunk, she is a drunk because of the three criteria I just told you about a few minutes ago. I mean, normal, non-alcoholic people don't do that. And now I'm going to make it even worse for her and better for you who voted against her, because you deserve a giant pat on the back. She's not just a drunk. Kamala Harris is what we call a wet brain drunk. Okay? A wet brain drunk. What do I mean by that? Wet brain drunks are people who, even when they are sober, or as she may have been for that video, semi-sober, are still idiots. Okay? They're still idiots. So now you're going to say, well, Carter, how do you know all this? Because I was a wet brain drunk. I am talking from experience and expertise here. You know, about a little over 20 years ago, 22, 23 years ago, I had decided to become a drunk, okay, in the previous 5 years. It's almost like a conscious decision. And so I spent 5 years being like Kamala Harris, okay? And then, you know, thanks to really two things. One, continual prayer, you know, by me, saying, God, you got to rescue me from this. And God said to me, honest to goodness, just as plain as I'm talking to you right now, you know what you need to do, so do it. Get in AA. The second thing was I would listen over and over again to Kris Kristofferson's song, the late Kris Kristofferson song, Sunday Morning Coming Down. Any of you who have been a drunk are nodding your head right now saying, yeah, I woke up Sunday morning with no way to hold my head that didn't hurt. And the beer I had for breakfast wasn't bad, so I had one more for dessert. And I stumbled down the stairs. And then the bottom line, nothing's quite as lonely as the sound of Sunday morning coming down. I was fed up with those Sunday mornings. And so I got an AA. But what I had found by that time was that I was wet-brained. And I still behaved like an idiot and said stupid things. I did everything she did in that speech. Babbling, saying idiotic things, repeating myself, laughing out of context. Remember, a lot of times this is when I was sober. You know, I was still wet-brained, okay? This woman is wet-brained. That's how much she drinks, all right? And you know, the cackling, the laughing out of context, yeah. And her, of course, as we know now. So, you know, there's no use me going on and on here. You've I'm sure seen the video, you know. Guy on Free Republic wrote, watching that video reminds you again is when your drunken aunt came over at Thanksgiving, and when she started talking, one of those hectoring lectures like Kamala did yesterday, he said, that's when my wife and I got her from the table, excused ourselves, went in the bedroom, got our coats, and got the hell out of there. Well, thank God America did the same thing on November 5th. A lot of Americans recognized what she was, and I had been saying it. And they got their coats and got out of there and made sure she did not get anywhere near the Oval Office. So we dodged a bullet. We dodged a major, deadly bullet from a wet-brained drunk. So as this Thanksgiving, thank him for that. Thank God for that, okay, folks? And now let's go on to really make a sober America great again. Let's do this thing.